what's goody? Hey, hi, hello. We're back. We're back for another review. This time we're doing episodes 2 and 3. Mainly because I knew that they were gonna be the same. I knew they were gonna be the same format. Because nobody went home on episode 2. Spoiler. I don't know why you're here if you don't want spoilers. So we knew that nobody went home episode 2, and I saw that and I was like, I doubt that they're gonna send anyone home for episode 3, and I know that it's gonna be a similar format. So wanted to just do it all at once rather than have to do 2 separate videos. Also, let me know which layout you like more, if you want the corner or if you want where we had in the last video with the watch. I just think, yeah, just let me know. So since we're covering 2 episodes instead of 1 episode, I'm just gonna try and go through this quickly. We have a lot to cover, a lot of queens to go through, a lot of looks to talk about. So let's get to it. Also, laptop here, so I'm gonna be looking at that while I talk to you, So let's start off with the mini challenge. So we have the mini challenge, which is you have to do for episode 2, you have to do a daytime look and a nighttime look, okay? So let's start off. I'm not going in any particular order. We're gonna start off with Idiot with 2 T's. So, her daytime look, it was cute. It was cute. Her nighttime look was significantly better in my opinion. Still kind of whatever, like nothing crazy. I mean, it was a lovely black dress with a corset on top, and it had a nice little top hat with a lovely expensive feather that wasn't a chicken feather, Joey. So those looks were great. I thought that she relatively did well and redeemed herself on this episode, especially when we go into the performance, which we'll talk about later. And then going to Got Mick with her runway looks. Her daytime look was amazing. Latex fantasy. It had a sun clutch. It could barely be a bag. It could barely be a bag because of how tiny it is in terms of like the width. But I thought that her look head to toe was beautiful. The detail on the shoe being like green with flowers. We love greenery and greenery. So that was nice to see. And also she didn't have a white face, so she's switching it up already, and we love to see that. And then for the nighttime look, she had this beautiful black dress. It looked like it could have been velvet, I don't know. And again, with the regular non-clown face. The hair was beautiful. She had her chest out, showing that she's really prideful of being a trans man, as he should be. So yes. And then we will move on to Candy, my fave. But unfortunately she wasn't my fave at all in this episode. It was really sad for me. Her daytime look, she tried to explain it as being like mother of the hookers. Go off, sis. You know what? Do what you gotta do. And then the nighttime look, it was nice. I like that she was in latex. I like the idea of it. Some people have an issue with that execution, specifically the hole in the back. But I still think that the nighttime look was significantly better than the daytime look. The daytime look just wasn't, it didn't do her justice. It really didn't. She's a gorgeous girl, and I don't know why that was the situation. And now let's talk about Lala Ree. Her daytime look, I fucking hated it. And it had everything to do with the print and nothing to do with like the dress itself. It was just the print. I mean, it was a lovely dress. The shape was beautiful. I wish she was holding it up the entire time. That's the one thing. Her hair and makeup are always gorgeous, but that dress was not my favorite, and it's just purely because I don't like the print. I just think it was super drab when we think of like a daytime look. If it was more vibrant, then maybe it would have read better for me. But yeah, her nighttime look felt very simple, but she sold it on the runway, which I appreciate that. She gave us a performance aspect, and that's lovely. It's lovely, gal. Um, and now let's talk about Olivia. Olivia Lux killed it in this episode. So her daytime look was super pretty. It was like a very 60s inspired look. It looked like embroidery? No, it's not embroidery, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. The fabric was it was lovely. It was like a yellow and it had purple detail. And then with all the ostrich feathers on the hem of the dress as well as the sleeve. Gorgeous. We love to see it. She killed it. And she had a little bag, which is a continual theme with Olivia. And then we go into the nighttime look and she looks gorgeous again. Beautiful dress. I believe it was by Domino Couture, who killed it. Really, really fucking killed it. And the little bag again. I just think Olivia is really shining so far in the composition. Next is Simone. Simone fucking bodied this episode. So the first one was like this very how do I describe it? It was super 90s, obviously. It was like very inspired by Clueless, but also The Nanny, I feel like. And then she gave me baps as well with the hair, even though she said it was Players Club, but like whatever, you know what I'm saying. And then to top it off, it was a loud print. We have the big hair, and then the bitch has a cape. I love her. I love her. She's doing it for me. And then we go into the nighttime look, and she is giving you like Erykah Badu, where meets Girlfriends, like meets Lynn from Girlfriends, and she looked gorgeous. If you understand those references, then you get the look. You know? You get what I'm saying? So, Simone bodied, as usual. And then we go into Tina Burner. I guess I'm a Tina Burner stan because of the hair, but I don't like her daytime or her nighttime look. Period. The daytime look, there's nothing like in terms of silhouette that is wrong with the daytime look. It gets that done because it has like the very Dior silhouette, you know. So in terms of a daytime silhouette, sure, we could go for that. It still feels very formal, but we will go with that. I just don't like the colors and then like all the appliques. It looked like a beautifully made garment though. And then for the nighttime look, it was too much. It was too much. Like the silhouette again is great. You could tell that was constructed well, but I'm just over the red, orange, yellow. Luckily, she switches it up later in the episode. I want to talk about that later. Just for continuity, we're going to go into the next episode where they do the runway as well for the mini challenge. So, this one was Lady and the Vamp. So we're going to start off with Denali. Denali's lady look was cute. I really loved her hair. I believe Camilla Fox did that, so shout out to her, Denali's drag mom. And the outfit was cute as well. I just had an issue with the fit. I wish that it was a little bit more cinched in because it felt a little boxy. But in terms of the design, it was a pretty dress. You know what I mean? Very pretty. She hit the nail with daytime. And then for the nighttime look, she gave me very like kind of like a Vivienne Westwood kind of situation with this tulle. I don't know if it's tulle like an organza. It could have been organza. And it had a hoop skirt. It was a gorgeous look. I personally had an issue with the hair, and it wasn't with the fact that the hair was styled in any certain way. It was just the fact that it was a flat black, and then when you looked on the episode, the runway, when you walk down the runway, you have color in the background, but the sides were all flat black. So the hair didn't translate as well on video in certain angles, but she still looked gorgeous. And that's just a small detail. I'm being annoying with that. So next we have Joey J, and I did not like any look that she pulled. It felt very Jersey, and not Jersey drag, like Jersey woman. It felt very Jersey woman. The daytime look was like a mini dress, you know, a very short mini dress with a fur vest, a black fur vest with a brown leather belt and brown thigh-high boots. It felt like something that Big Ange would have worn, and like R.I.P. Big Ange, I love you, but didn't love the fashions. And then for the vamp look, it was also like kind of just calm. It was a black jumpsuit, a cat suit. It had some detailing here, which was nice. It was like a scaling detail. She had chains going down to these. Also another thigh-high boot. And it just felt very performance and not runway. You get what I'm saying? And then I'm not even gonna talk about the hair, whatever. That's her signature. Go off. But I did like that she switched up the color from daytime to nighttime. I thought that was a nice touch, so I'll give her that. But yeah, for her looks, not a fan. Just wasn't a fan. Alright, Komora. Girl takes forever to get ready, and I mean, I don't blame her because she looks fucking gorgeous. So the daytime look, beautiful. It was beautiful. It was like a classic Dior silhouette. Very daytime. She was going to get tea. She had the tea with her. Loved it. And then the nighttime look, she switched it up. Very vampy. I've been saying daytime and nighttime this entire time, and it's lady and vamp. So forgive me. But the lady look, again, beautiful. The vamp look was gorgeous. It was a Thierry Mugler, and it was just done beautifully. So good for her, and good for her for having the coin to pull out a vintage Thierry Mugler, because that's not easy. And then we go into Rose, and she has some of the best fucking looks for this segment. So the first dress that she wore for the lady was like this very fun, abstract, hand painted dress. Beautiful. She had a matching bag. There was a little gag where it says Oze, and then she has the R bag, and then completes Rose. So branding on point. Go the fuck off, Rose. You're killing it. And then we get into the vamp look, and she's giving you Alexander McQueen beauty. She had like a cage hat. It was mesh overlay over like what is it called? A cat suit? No, a leotard. Boom, boom, a leotard. And thigh-high boots. The thigh-high boots were embellished. So was the leotard. And then if you look closely, the detailing of the mesh, it was beautifully ruched. She killed it. She killed it. You could tell that was an expensive look. She spent coin on it, and she deserved to spend a coin on it. I thought that she did great. And then we go into my savior, one of my faves, Tamisha Iman. Her daytime look, well, her lady look, super fucking gorgeous. She looked great. She looked like she was part of the Supremes, you know, like very Diana. And I think that she looks amazing. There's nothing that I would really want to change. Perfect. The vamp look gave you Elvira in a head-to-toe hair dress. We love to see it. I think she said it was like 40 inches, and I was like, go off, Tamisha. Go off, Tamisha. She ate this episode, and I love her. I really do. I love her. We stand Tamisha Iman, and if you don't, we can meet outside. We can meet outside. It's as simple as that. So, we stand. And happy that she made it to 100,000 followers on Instagram, as she deserves. And lastly, we have Utica Queen. She talks like this, and yeah. So the lady look, I loved. She is a fucking quirky individual, and you could tell with her fashion. The lady look was gorgeous. I loved all the balls. It was a very 60s mod-inspired print, as well as almost a silhouette. I don't think they showed that much skin, but who am I? And then the vamp look was gorgeous. It also reminded me of Rita Repulsa. I like that she had like this cage situation, a large collar around her neck. It felt Victorian. And then also I just liked the little detail of having like the crushed balls in the collar. I think that it like harkened back to the day look, the lady look. And I just thought that was a cute little detail, trying like, it told a story. It told a story, and I really appreciated that. Okay. So, after they did the runway, they learned that they were having to perform for the main challenge. And the main challenge, you had to record verse for one of RuPaul's many songs, and then you had to choreograph it as a group and perform in front of the judges. So I'm not really gonna break down the performances. I'm just gonna tell you, I thought that Phenomenon did a better job. I loved the first group, but I will say the second group kind of bodied it in terms of performance. They had more elements involved in their performance, and I just thought it was more engaging. So that's what I have to say. The runway, however, let's talk about it. LeMay, you better stay. LeMay, you slay. Yeah. So let's go through them. Gottmik's LeMay look. It reminded me of the Christian Dior fashion show. I forgot, I believe it was 1999, the finale look, where it was Cleopatra, Pat McGrath was on the makeup, exaggerated sleeves. It kind of reminded me of that. And I just thought it was a beautiful look. I mean, I'm kind of tired of seeing Diego Montoya, harken back to Evie. So there's that. I mean, I think that there's a point that has to be made about queens using certain designers and it just being like, you know, a fashion show for those designers. But I will say it's a spectacular look, and it did what she had to do. So now let's go into Miss Candy. So Candy, her LeMay look was a beauty, you know what I mean? And she looked very cute, fembot. I'm seeing that a lot of these girls love the 60s and the 70s. That's very interesting. And I liked her look. I thought that the hair was a choice to have the headband. It just makes it seem like you didn't glue your wig down, but maybe she was doing a stylistic choice with the 60s. You know, that could very much be it. But that's how I interpreted it. And I felt bad for Candy because her performance was lacking in congratulations. Even though, like, her actual verse was good. I liked her verse, but it was lacking because she messed up. After she performed her verse, she lost the choreography, and I just thought that was upsetting. I was like, damn, girl. Damn. But either way, she's safe, and I'm happy to see it. And honestly, I think she had one of the better verses on the track. So then we'll go into LaLa Ri. LaLa Ri's look was absolutely gorgeous. It looked great on her skin. It looked great when she was moving. I loved it. I don't really love the leggings, even though that was half the look. But if it was like a gown and it still had that movement, I think it would have been great. But that's just a small detail. I still think that she looks great though. I do. And then for her performance, I liked her verse. It was a little I didn't like the look as much. I just felt that the hair with the exaggerated shoulder kind of all blended together, and I lost her face. And I think that she has one of the most gorgeous faces, so that was kind of disappointing. But her actual performance itself and the verse was great. So like, go off, Lala. And I'm happy that she wasn't in the bottom. I don't want to see her go anytime soon. I really don't. So now we could get into Olivia. Olivia's look was not my fave. I mean, I understand that it was an old Hollywood glamour, and she did look gorgeous. I just personally didn't like the silhouette much, and it's just like a personal taste situation. It has nothing to do with like the actual garment or how she styled it, because I think that for what she was going for, she executed it well. It's not my aesthetic. I did, however, love her congratulations look. I thought that she looked gorgeous, and I love her in big hair and sparkly outfits. And she sounded beautiful on the performance as well. She gave us camp, you know what I mean, with these exaggerated movements. And it was fun to watch. I mean, I can't take my eyes off her on the stage. I really can't. She's gorgeous. I'm excited. And I'm happy that she was in the top two. She deserved it. So then we have Simone, who had, I loved her look. It was by B. Kala. It was the boxing look. I think the hair was gorgeous. I love the fact that she went with something that was more conceptual. She had a theme, and I think that like that's always a strong thing to have whenever you're on the runway. So good for her. Her congratulations look was also super cute. It reminded me of Check Up On It from Beyonce, but in blue. So love to see that. And her verse was fun. She didn't really say anything. I think it was like 10-15 words. But it was fun. She gave a lot of performance in the face and in her exaggerated movements again. So I was happy with it. She's definitely entertaining. I think her fashion is something to look out for real. I think that she's really showing up to be like one of the fashion girls. Okay, Tina Burner. I loved her look, which is surprising. And I think I loved it so much because it wasn't fucking red, orange, or yellow. Giving us Tin Man. And honestly, like, it was very fine for me when she was walking down. But when she opened up her jacket and she had the bedazzled heart, anatomically correct heart on her chest, it sold it for me. And like she said, she pays attention to details, and you could tell with that. And that apparently was like worked on by her entire drag house, which I don't know the entire drag house, but I know that Egypt from New York City is also in that house. So go off. I personally, again, did not like her performance look. I think her performance was great. She's amazing as a performer, and her verse was fine. She added a lot into that verse. I was surprised that they all had the same amount of time because she said a lot in her verse. But her actual outfit, I hated it. I really did. It was just not nice. Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and it's like I don't understand the gilded feathers on the shoulders with the actual garment itself. It just felt misplaced. It felt, if it had one or the other, it would have been a great garment, but that's just me. And then lastly, we have Elliot with two T's. I really did not enjoy her lame look. I just didn't like. It's pretty. It felt like quinceañera-esque, but it's just not for me. Somebody enjoyed it. I mean, Elliot enjoyed it. I liked the bedazzled titty. That was like very low Kim. It just wasn't my favorite look. Sorry. But I did love her congratulations look. I thought she looked gorgeous. And I thought that she was fucking funny when she was like, I'm not gonna help these bitches with the choreo. They don't need to know that I'm a professional dancer. She ends up helping them. But still, I just thought that was funny. And then she could perform crazy. You know what I mean? Like, she's a great performer. So her congratulations performance was great. I liked it. But I also really liked the look. It was a leopard cheetah situation, again with a black corset over it. But it was exciting to see. It was more exciting than some of the other congratulations look. For example, Gottmik. I didn't like Gottmik's congratulation look, but whatever. So then for the second group of girls, they had to do the same challenge, but it was with the song Phenomenon. Banana. Dun, 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 dun. Phenomenon. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So let's start off with Denali. Denali's performance look was fine. I think that it was really cute actually. So go off, and she killed it during the performance. And then when we get into her runway look, which the runway look was sheer. I didn't like her runway look. I personally just didn't enjoy it. And it has a lot to do with the fact that, like, while it was sheer fabric, the layers of sheer were so on top of each other that it no longer was sheer. She had a lot of sheer layers, but the actual garment itself was no longer sheer, and I felt like that didn't meet the challenge. But I love the movement of the dress. I thought that was great. So, and I like her hair. She always has really good hair. And then when we go into Joey's outfit for this year runway, I just don't enjoy it. I just don't enjoy it. And then her phenomenon look, I also just don't enjoy. It felt very $5 spot. If you're from New York, you know that there's a $5 spot. It felt very that. So yeah, but her performance is great, and I'm gonna say her padding is amazing too. She does really good padding. But I just didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy these looks. Her performance, however, was really great. So good job, Joey, on that. And I also think you had a fun verse. So yeah. And then Kimora Hall. Thank God that she's gorgeous because the performance wasn't it for me. I think that I think that she will go down as like the Roxy Andrews of this season because she's gorgeous, but the performance was not it. Her her performance look was stunning. It was very Bob Mackie. I mean, she is the Bob Mackie doll. I don't think that was an original Bob Mackie though. And then for the runway look, the cheer look, she had like one of my favorite ones. She looked like an actual doll. Her hair was ridiculously big. The earrings were ridiculously big. The dress had like a flow, so it made it seem like it was big as well. She gives it to me when it comes to the looks. But that performance was really, and it has less to do with the performance and more to do with the verse. You know what I mean? So that was disappointing. But she's a gorgeous girl, and learning her storyline in the in the show is kind of getting me a little bit upset. But if you saw the show, you know what I'm talking about with the whole situation with her boyfriend. I was a little bit upset about that for her, not for the situation. I just didn't want her to have to deal with that. So yeah, but she's gorgeous. We love Kimora. I love Kimora. I'm so happy that she's on the show. Rosé's look. So for the sheer look, I personally, again, didn't like it. I think that like the silhouette was gorgeous. I like that it had drama. And I appreciate the color, but I don't think that it really hit the nail when it comes to sheer. The shoulders were sheer, but then when we have the plastic bits, it didn't look sheer. It didn't read sheer on the runway. So that's just me. Maybe in person it looked better because they really praised her look. But yeah, it wasn't a top look for me. Her performance like was gorgeous. Her performance was gorgeous. She was singing, she was funny, she had highs and lows in terms of like in terms of her dancing. So I think that she killed it. Then we go to Tamisha. Her sheer look was one of my favorites as well. It gave me very much old Hollywood glam, and it was actually sheer, which I loved. And the fact that she made it herself, I mean, I can't with Tamisha. She does it all, everything. And then her performance look, not my favorite look. It felt a little basic, but she is so charismatic that I like wasn't even caring. And then when she performed, it was fun. She was helpful in terms of like the choreography. She helped them figure out that one part when there was a from da 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 to da da da. Yeah. And I think that her movements were great. I think that her voice on the track was really exciting and like brought people in because she just has such a distinguished voice that it popped. It popped on the track. So good for her. I can't wait to see more of what Tamisha Iman does and what Tamisha Iman wears, even more so because I'm obsessed. And then lastly, we have Yurrrr. And I liked her sheer look. I got the reference to like Stevie Nicks and like witchy girls. I went to a college town where a lot of people dressed like that, in that style, not necessarily that dress. So I got it. And I liked it for her. I wouldn't wear it, but for her it looks great. Because it goes with like her character. And then also I loved her performance look for Phenomenon. I think that it was so much fun. Her hair was great. It was so kooky. And in terms of like the verse and stuff, it wasn't my favorite, but I still think that like she was entertaining to look at, and that's something in itself. So then after the runway, obviously we get critiques and all that stuff, and we find out that the tops of this episode for Congratulations were Olivia Lux and Simone. And at the bottom two were Gottmik and Candy. So I agreed with that whole situation. I didn't want that to be the situation, but I agreed with it. And the twist, ba-ba-bum, is that the bottom two aren't going home. They're not lip syncing. We're doing the top two lip sync for $5,000. And I love to see that because it actually means that like the queens are going to perform. You know what I mean? Like really, really perform, because now there's like no pressure. There's no pressure of having to go home. They're just doing it to have fun. So Olivia Lux and Simone are performing, and I forgot what song they perform. Hold on. Performing Break My Heart. And first off, I'm just so happy that we got this song on the show. Like, we need more of Dua Peeps. So I thought the performance was great. I mean, I think that they both channeled two different energies. Olivia was definitely doing more like theatrical comedy, camp, and I love seeing that. And then Simone was just purely giving like attitude, and she was also giving camp, and the fact that like everything was super dramatic in terms of her movements and in terms of her facial expressions. And that is camp, in my opinion. Who am I? I'm not the Met Gala. I don't define camp. Camp defines itself. You know? You know? So I thought that it was a great performance. Definitely one of the better lip syncs that has come out of Drag Race in a while. And the only reason why I think Olivia lost that lip sync was because her hair went out of place. I think that was like the one technical thing that they could put on Olivia where they could say, no, she didn't perform as well as Simone because of this one reason. Other than that, I hope that she's proud of that lip sync because she did a good job. And then we also go into the next lip sync. The next episode, which the top two were Denali and Rose, which I agree with. I think that they both did great. I would have also liked to see Tamisha Iman there, but that's just me. And then the bottom two were, who was it? It was Komora and was it Joey? I don't know. I think it might have been Kimura and Jory. I don't even know if they really, if they even mentioned it now that I think about it. But in my head, that makes sense. In my head, it's Kimura and Joey. So, whatever, we already know that they don't go home. And that's, whatever, it's fine. Like, it's the same as the last episode. But what is nice is that we got to see Denali and Rose, who I consider to be some of the better lip syncers on the season, to lip sync against each other to If You Seek Amy by Britney Spears. I can't believe I had to think about that. I'm losing my gay card. Wow. Okay. So they lip synced to If You Seek Amy, and I thought it was an amazing lip sync. We had a cute little moment where they both drop down at the same time, and I feel like that harkens back to like Jocelyn Fox and Laganja Estrada when they did the Pink song Stupid Girls, where they both dropped at the same time. I love moments like that. You can't, like, that just happens in the moment. It's not scripted or anything. And I believe that Denali won that lip sync. Rose was giving you very New York City comedy. Denali was giving you a straight up performance. So depending on what you were looking for, you were able to get a taste of both. And I think they both did a good job. I'm not gonna hold you. The Untucks were super like calm. I didn't think anything of any of the Untucks. There was no drama. So that's what I have to say about that. But next week, we finally get to see the new girls. Well, not even the new girls. The old girls, the winning girls meet the losing girls, and I can't wait for that. So stay tuned for that review. That's gonna be juicy, I'm sure. And it's gonna be an acting challenge, which probably will be trash, but who cares? Who cares? We're here to have a good time. So stay tuned next week. Hopefully I'll be coming back earlier. And while you're here, make sure to like the video, subscribe wherever the button is. You could check out my previous videos as well. So please support the channel. I'm gonna continue making these videos. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Bye.